As you can see, I have grafted a small isolinear tag onto the tip of the Nerf bullet. This tag, when activated by a pressure greater than that of wind resistance, will create a tiny rip in the space-time continuum, causing a phase variance. This, of course, will allow both the bullet and the causer of the pressure to pass through the invisible barrier between worlds.
What?
Interdimensional transports.
Ow! What?
Do try not to be such an imbecile. You did not understand a word of what I just said, did you?
Not a word.
Hello and welcome to Crowforest Reviews. Today we're going to be talking about Equestria Girls. God, I wish. No, instead we're going to be looking at the movie of the same name. I am, of course, referring to Equestria Girls. Yes, that one. It's amazing how much editing can change the meaning of something. Now, I know what you're all wondering. At least the ones of you who have managed to stop screaming in terror at the sight of them. Didn't they used to be ponies? What the hell happened? And you are quite right. They did used to be ponies. As for what the hell happened? Well, that's not an entirely easy question to answer, so bear with me. See, the funny thing about Equestria Girls is that it doesn't actually take place in Equestria. You could make the argument that this is an alternate version of Equestria and that this is some kind of bizarre Elseworld story, but here's the thing. It isn't. And before you get all huffy in the comments section, let me explain. Equestria is the land of the ponies, the land of the equines. The word Equestria comes from the word equine, the Latin word for horse. If this was an alternate version of Equestria, then they would still be ponies. But they aren't. Instead, they're shown as humans. In human world. In a kind of humanestria, if you will. It's okay if you won't, I won't. Anyway, the point is, it just seems like such an odd artistic choice to change the most fundamental aspect of that world. Especially when your world was so unique and appealing, and now it's just so generic and boring. So why would they do this if no one wanted to see this? Well, let's talk about high school AUs. High school AU, for those of you who don't know, stands for High School Alternate Universe. And it refers to the phenomenon in fan fiction where, for whatever reason, the author takes some popular characters from a franchise and says, you know what would be really funny? If they were all in high school. Is it actually funny? Well, no, not typically anyway. But the thing about high school AUs is that, like everything else, they have a wide range of quality, ranging from the surprisingly good on one hand to the downright awful on the other hand. On the one end of the spectrum, we have the Emperor's New School. And on the other end of the spectrum, we have Equestria Girls. Where do I even start with this one? Well, how about at the beginning? The movie starts out with Twilight and her friends in the Crystal Empire, where Twilight is about to take part in a princess summit. Twilight voices her anxiety regarding her participation in the event, inspiring Pinkie Pie to deliver this bit of insight. Wait, was that a Transformers sound effect? Anyway, Transformers sound effect aside, that's actually a very good bit of insight. Twilight tells her friends that she is indeed excited about the summit, but that the stress of it is just really getting to her because it's just another thing to deal with on top of all the other new changes in her life, giving us this much needed scene.
Haven't really gotten accustomed to these yet, either.
This is a very welcome sequence after the very jarring end of Season 3. It's It's almost enough to make me forget that I'm watching a crappy spin-off movie. So anyway, after meeting with the other princesses in the throne room, we get our opening credits, which start out nice enough, but then, much like the movie itself, they start to suck. So after that bit of foreshadowing of things yet to suck, we're introduced to our villain, a mysterious cloaked unicorn mare. She sneaks into Twilight's bedroom in the middle of the night to steal Twilight's crown, seeking of course to possess the power of the element of harmony contained within. She makes the switch with a worthless copy and is about to get away when she's foiled by the quick thinking of the resident unconscious baby dragon. Spike inadvertently trips the mare, alerting Twilight and the others to her presence, and they all chase after her. They corner her at an old mirror, but her sudden stop causes the crown to fly out of her saddlebag and into the mirror. The mare quickly follows suit and jumps through the mirror after the crown. The next morning, Twilight and her friends tell Celestia what happened, and Celestia exposits that the intruder of the night before was her former protege, a clever and powerful mare by the name of Sunset Shimmer. Sunset Shimmer had been a good and faithful student to Celestia, but Celestia was forced to let her go when it became clear that she had been corrupted by her lust for power and dark magics, and so Sunset Shimmer fled to a parallel world. Wow, this is actually a really good setup for a villain. Sunset Shimmer is essentially a dark Twilight Sparkle. In fact, although it isn't explicitly stated here, it's likely that Sunset Shimmer would have been in line to become the 4th princess of Equestria had she not been turned away by Celestia. If this is the case, then she likely feels that the crown is hers by right, and that she was merely reclaiming what was stolen from her. In fact, it's even possible that she is entirely correct in that assessment. We only have Celestia's word that she dismissed Sunset Shimmer after she went to the dark side, and Celestia has not always been the best of judges on that particular matter. But then, I'm not even sure why I'm bothering to speculate into the backstory of a villain that we all know is not destined for great things. Anyway, Celestia leads them to the mysterious mirror from the night before, and Luna exposits that it is no ordinary mirror, but rather a gateway to other dimensions.
This is no ordinary mirror. It is a gateway to another world. A gateway that opens once every 30 moons.
Wow, a gateway to other dimensions. Just think of the possibilities. They can dimension hop to other versions of Equestria and have all kinds of wacky adventures, and learn friendship lessons from the other versions of themselves along the way.
What if you could find brand new worlds right here on Earth, where anything is possible? Same planet, different dimension. I found the gateway.
Celestia tells Twilight that she must enter the parallel world and retrieve the element of harmony before the gateway closes the following night. And so, Twilight and her friends step up to go through the mirror.
I'm afraid I can't let you go. Sending all of you could upset the balance of this alternate world.
Bullshit detected. Take precautions.
No. Just no. There is absolutely no reason for this. Here they have a really cool setup for Twilight and her friends to go traveling through the multiverse together, and they aren't even going to use it? Why? Because their presence there might upset the balance of other universes? Bullshit! If the universe's balance is that precarious, then Twilight's presence alone will be more than enough to upset it. And what about the friendship lessons from the previous 3 seasons? Now you're just saying, ditch your friends, they're not important? What kind of a lesson is that? And finally, how the hell do you justify sending someone into a war zone without backup? Especially your students. But to this movie's very little credit, that is an in-character thing for Celestia to do. So anyway, after that lengthy paragraph of ranting, Twilight steps through the mirror, leaving her friends behind. But then, before anyone can stop him, Spike runs after her and jumps through the mirror himself. Are you seriously trying to tell me that he was the only one to run after Twilight? No one else even tried? They're all prepared to follow Twilight to the ends of Equestria and even into the embrace of death itself, but they won't follow her to another world just because Celestia told them not to.
What? Why not?
Well, I guess Celestia is pretty intimidating. But oh well, maybe Twilight and Spike are going into the new world by themselves, but it's still a portal to a new Equestria. This is still a really cool setup.
Huh? Spike? You're not supposed to... Spike?
What the hell?
Are you a dog?
I think so, but I have no idea what you are.
A Bratz doll. Why the hell is Twilight a Bratz doll? And why the hell are they different species in the first place? That's not how interdimensional sliding works! So, Bratz doll Twilight wiggles her newly formed fingers in front of her face, and she wonders, along with the audience, just what in the hell they are and why in the hell they are a thing. But there's no time for speculation. Twilight has to retrieve the crown before it's too late. Twilight dashes off on all fours with Spike on her back, but Spike points out a human walking his dog and speculates that they are not traveling in an altogether socially acceptable manner. Twilight rapidly gets to her feet, mimicking the posture that she sees the human take, but she finds that her legs are very unsteady, not having been designed to work in such a manner.
Come on, Spike. I do not want to be like this for longer than I have to.
Well, look on the bright side. You don't have those pesky wings to worry about anymore.
Well, I suppose that was the only way to make the process of sprouting wings seem like it really wasn't all that weird. And wait a minute. Why doesn't she have wings? And a horn? I mean, they look kind of weird on her human form, but they're kind of fundamental aspects of her. How can she even do magic now?
My magic. Is it working?
Makes sense. You don't exactly have your horn.
What?
You know, I actually kind of like Bratz doll Twilight. She has all the right reactions. Twilight and Spike make it to the building, and Twilight finally gets a good look at herself in the glass of a trophy case. But before she has time to fully take it all in, the school bell rings and the hallways are instantly packed with high school students. Twilight is shoved aside and she falls into some lockers, where she sees...
Whoa! You okay?
Just what in the hell is Josh Mankey doing here?
Oh, Josh Mankey.
Mankey.
So after that pointless cameo, we get a brief song number, which thankfully has the effect of getting most of the awkwardness of living in a new world out of the way in the span of 30 seconds. After that, we meet Fluttershy. And here's where we start a game I like to call Let's Remake the First Episode.
My name's Twilight. I'm Fluttershy. Sorry, what was that? It's Fluttershy. I'm Twilight Sparkle. What's your name? I'm Fluttershy. Didn't quite catch that.
So, plagiarism aside, we learned that not Fluttershy found the crown, and she turned it into Principal Celestia, mistaking it for the homecoming crown. Ugh, Principal Celestia. That is just painful to say. So Twilight decides that the best way to get the crown back is to enter the contest and become homecoming princess.
Well, if you do need anything else, my door is always open.
Well, that's Celestia for you. So all Twilight has to do is become the princess of the fall formal dance.
I'll have to become Princess of the Canterlot High Fall Formal.
And how exactly do you plan on doing that?
I have no idea.
It's like she knows the script is stupid and she's just going with it.